everybody, this is Oksana, and today we're going to make this cute little simple pendant. So if you want to see how to make this, then keep watching. The wire we're going to be using is from Rio Grande. It's square copper, dead soft, and it's 21 gauge. On their website they have it listed as 21 gauge, but here they have the actual 0.028 centimeter size of it. So we're going to be using 3 pieces, and they are about almost 6.5 inches. And my cabochon is quite small. It is just resin. It's a sparkly glitter in resin, and it is, let's measure it and see. Okay, so it is like 1/2 inch, almost exactly 1/2 inch, or in millimeters, maybe like 12-ish millimeters. And then for the half round wire, it's also from Rio Grande. It's just, the paper is broken, but it is 22 gauge half round wire, and I'm just using that to make the connection. So I take my 3 wires and I hold them in the middle, and then I take my half round wire, and this is just coming off of the spool. I didn't cut a piece off. So I take it and I make sure that my 3 wires are lined up nicely, like one on top of the other like this. And then I wrap my half round wire around them. And the number of times that you wrap it is just up to you. It's more like for looks. If you can do it just a couple of times, you can do it a little longer. It's up to you. So I'm just going to wrap it a few times like this, and then what you want to do is you just want to trim it with your wire cutters. And these are the Xuron brand wire cutters. And I also use their what are they called, tweezer nose pliers as well, that I'll show you in a second here. And I got them from Amazon, and I have it linked below. So let's count my wraps here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's going to end up being 6 because I'm bringing this over, and I'm cutting it because I want both of my little wire ends to be on the same side, which is going to be the inside, so it's not going to be something that you see. And now I'm taking those tweezer nose pliers that I mentioned, and I am pressing down both the wire ends and also just all the wire. I'm just kind of gently pressing across all the wire, and sometimes it kind of moves it a little, so there end up being spaces. So then I just push it back together like this. So this will be the inside, and this will be the part that you see. This is going to be the bottom of my pendant. So now I'm going to take and hold it roughly in the middle. So because we have 3, because we have 6, it's like 3 and 3. So you kind of have a rough idea where the middle would be, and you can make a bend like that with your pliers. I'm just going to make that a little sharper of a bend. Let me see here. Here we go. So now I have my cabochon, and I'm just going to put that in there in the frame because it's a little teardrop shape, and it's going to be point down. You can use an oval. You don't have to use a teardrop or like a round one as well. So you want to lay this down flat on like a table or something, on your desk perhaps, because it's a little tricky to do in the air like I'm doing it here. But basically you just want to bend the wires around your cabochon to create your frame. And I'm just kind of bending them out because when I bring them together, this way they're not crisscrossing. So you're making a frame, and then up here I'm going to put a bend with my finger, first in one direction then in the other direction. Then I'm going to go ahead and center it so it's going straight. And you can help yourself out with pliers as well. So you can take your pliers and just kind of squish those together. And what you want is you want 3 square wires together right on top of each other like this on one side, and then on the other side, and you want them to be directly on top, like this set of 3 directly on top of the other set of 3, so that it's nice and compact. And then we're just going to take the half round wire again and wrap it around all 6 of those. And then after you make a few wraps, I like to cut this little tail end off here. And then I take that little tail end and I tuck it in there. So this will be the back of the pendant. So I'm just pressing it. Okay, so here's what it looks like from the back and from the front. And then you can squish it if you want to, just gently this way. So now I'm going to take the 2 frontmost wires I'm going to bend the rest of the wires back, and I'm going to bend the 2 frontmost wires forward. Then I'm going to take my half round wire, make sure it doesn't twist on you. Like mine kind of started to turn. You want it to always be the flat side down. So I'm just wrapping it around those 2 frontmost wires. And after you make just like 2 wraps, take a look at it, because usually a little gap starts to form. And it's much easier kind of to squish and fix that gap right now rather than when you've wrapped it all the way up. Then things don't move around as easily. So what you want to do now is just keep wrapping it around. I'm just guiding it with my finger, and then I'm turning the pendant frame, making sure it stays the flat side up. I'm sorry, the flat side down, the half round side up. And this is going to be your bail. So you just want it to be however tall you need your bail to be. Just going to make mine slightly taller to make sure that my necklace can fit through it. Alright, this is probably adequate. So then I'm just going to trim it. You want to make sure that you trim it not on this side but here, because this is the part that's going to get hidden. So when you squish it down, this is the front of our pendant, this is the back of our pendant, this is the little wire end. And now I'm just kind of very, very gently, you don't want to squish it really hard because it'll make little dents from your pliers in the wire. Just gently squishing it flat. Okay? So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 2 backmost wires. Okay, so if we separate these out, I'm just going to trim them really, really short. Like this. And now I'm just going to press them. Just kind of gently and carefully, because you don't want to mark up the front, but just so they're pressed down and not sticking up like this. Okay, and then the next 2 wires, so these are the middle wires. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of curve them, bend them backwards and curve them, put them through the frame, pull them all the way through, and then just make sure they're laying down right on top of those other wires so that you don't get a gap. Just like that. And then here on the front, you're just going to bend those wires just kind of down and to the back, down and to the back like this. And you're going to trim them. So there's just a tiny little end, and you're going to tuck that little end away. Just kind of right into the frame. Press it down. Now one thing that I did is I didn't bring this very far down. This is still just right here at the top, and the reason I did that is so it doesn't get in the way of my cabochon, because if it went to where the cabochon is, when I tried to put it in, it would kind of get in the way. And then you just want to make sure that these are not visible from the front, so I'm just kind of squishing them a little and kind of maybe moving them up a little so that from the front those wire ends are not super obvious. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my veil, I'm just going to bend it so that it's kind of following along. And then I'm going to lay it down, lay those wires down right next to the first set of wires. So just like this. And then same thing here on the back. I'm just going to trim them so there's just a tiny little wire end that I can tuck away right into here. I'm going to grab and tuck. Okay, there it is from the front. Now I'm just grabbing my little cabochon here. I'm going to pop it in. So you just have to hold it so that it doesn't pop out. And then you want to grab the backmost wire. This is the back. And you're bending that back wire right onto your stone. Like that. And then here in the front, the frontmost wire, you want to just wiggle your pliers in there and just bend that a little as well, right onto your stone. And that is it. That is this itty bitty little pendant. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.